Welcome back, my delinquents. We have caught another case today, and I thought I would do this one first compared to a few others we have lined up because it directly relates to the previous videos. The war on Big Booba, but it has to do with a VTuber's really trash opinion about this, and also them kinda body shaming one of the VTubers involved. It's like the weirdest situation. I really want to highlight this because I have actually, weirdly enough, heard this point before in the past, and it has very I'm 13 and this is my first time speaking on the internet vibes, where it just seems like they're getting up in arms about such a nothing issue where they just have to voice their opinion. And you may be asking, what is it about? Well, the gist of it is they are mad that these VTubers do not have giant breasts in real life, unlike them, and it's icky. So we're gonna go over the story and some replies and stuff. And another part of the story is that they were trying to resell art that they didn't have the permission from the artist to resell. So that's a little add on there. I really wanted to go over this story because it's just so silly. It's such a silly, like, take, in my opinion, and it has, like, Tumblr vibes for real. Just because you dislike something doesn't mean you are correct and trying to tear someone down over this belief. Before we go into that, we do have another video about the VTuber clone wars that is slowly going around, which will be up in the next 24 hours. You can get it early by becoming a member, or you can join the Patreon. It will be up in a couple hours, but I wanted to do this one first. But let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start up here, which is the first post where someone called around on this opinion. I saved it when it happened, but I wasn't 100% if I was going to talk about it, because sometimes I save stories and never talk about them. So I saw this as it came out, and I just took it as this is a really dumb take, and they sound very young. This is a very young person take, in my opinion. But let's go over SC talking about them first into what they said. Not to be mean, but I've seen Adora in real life at TwitchCon. Her tits are not that big. It's one thing to copy your body type to your model, but this isn't the case. Which is such a silly take. It's not important if you look like your model. Next, who cares if their boobs are as big as their anime boobs? Not many people have boobs that big, or exactly the same. And she goes on to later talk about how it's fine for her because she has giant badonks, apparently. And that's... Not to use the dreaded word pick me, but that is a bit of a pick me thing to say but I have giant boobas and it's fine and I'm offended anyone else would want giant boobas even fictionally. It's a bit weird, honestly, and it's a very young person take, in my opinion. Hey, so this is actually really gross to say. Yeah, next to commenting on someone else's appearance, talking about a VTuber's appearance online, but also saying, like, other people, if they have small boobs or big boobs, they can't change how they look in a VTuber or a fictional representation of themselves is very odd, seeing most anime is drawn by guys and they draw people with crazy badonks. What's the problem? It's not a big deal. In the end, you should see these characters as just an extension of the VTuber, not a physical representation. Not to be mean, and you bring up VTubers in IRL Looks because they don't look like them. Yes, we have all been in high school. Anyone who starts off with not to be mean usually is about to get slam dunk someone emotionally. Not all the time, just sometimes. Regardless of the absurdity of the situation being discussed, body shaming is nasty work. Newsflash, I don't have 8 eyes. I'm devastated. Unsubscribed. I can't believe Spider Mummy doesn't have 8 eyes in real life. I'm devastated. We're devastated, aren't we, bros? But I'm sorry I'm laughing, making a lot of jokes today, but it's not that serious, I would have to say. I would say this person is coming off as a bit of a brat. The kid, I'm going to refer to them as a kid here. But, like, this VTuber, who I'm assuming is probably under the age of 20, is a bit of a brat. Honestly, it's brat behavior, especially seeing they kind of deny the fact that they're wrong. And there's a lot of screenshots in here, but let's go into some of these replies. I wish I had pink hair and bunny ears in life. All I got is a flat ass and tummy issues. I feel that tummy issues, bro. I had food poisoning so much as a kid, my stomach cannot take anything. Why would they even post this? Why are they even getting from this? Of course, not everyone is going to be exactly like their VTubers. Yeah, common sense has left the building on that one. Most people aren't like their VTubers. Some people put on a whole acts, whole shows, play a character. And so that takes us into the first part that also turns into Stella apologizing. After doubling down a lot, we'll go into those replies in there, but we'll segue off a little bit into them selling artworks here, where Fenris talks about not only is this person in the screenshot blatant about body shaming others, but they also attempt to resell assets made by other artists without permission, which we go into here, where this is artists' assets that they either gave or sold to this person, and you always want to make sure you get the rights to the model. Some artists put it in their TOS that they have the first rights to buy it back if they want, or it has to be resold through them, or mention that they are the artists, etc. Some things. Next up, VGen is for original work mainly. I haven't really seen many resale stuff on there, but I could be wrong. So always be aware on the TOS of your artists and what is their preference, if it needs to be resold or you have decided not to use it anymore, because some people may really like what they made, and if you stop VTubing or something, they may want to buy it back. It's always good to be aware of this, especially if you're not sure how long you're staying in VTubing. If you spend all that money on it, it would be worth to know if you could sell it back to the artist if they wanted it. And this goes into their apology here. They ask people to take down the screenshots of their posts because they've deleted a lot of posts and a lot of replies in here, but they're screenshots, and we're going to go over to their replies of them like doubling down and insulting people. So always such fun, but let's go into it. Hi, so no, I will not be taking down my post. You get to live with your actions. Also, when are you going to apologize to the artist who didn't give you permission to resell their assets? Just wondering. Also to point out here that a lot of people say that she says to Adora, I can't apologize enough, and she didn't at Adora. She actually didn't later until people pointed out. But let's get into the clip.
Hello everyone. I just woke up, but I wanted to make this video as soon as I could, just to clear, not myself, but just to clear everything in general. I wanted to address a post I made regarding the VTuber Adora Bunny. And before I do address that post, I wanted to personally apologize to Adora for the breach of privacy and the damage that I've caused. I also want to use this as a good example for myself and other people who may tweet without thinking about the real emotions and people behind the screen. This is a really good example of that. When I first made the post, I was unaware of the damage I had inflicted. Once I had a good discussion with somebody in DMs, I deleted the post.
And by the way, this wasn't something she did quickly. She did double down a lot on this, which we'll see the screenshots eventually, but also she talks about like people's emotions behind it, not the fact that this is just a really stupid take and that your opinion is wrong. Which she goes in her doubling down, she mentions, you're not going to change my opinion. So I feel like she's just like, I didn't know people could be emotionally upset. Not that her take is kind of immature in general.
But some users had screenshotted it already and it was still public to everyone. I was defensive at first. The comments against it, I was in denial that I did something wrong. But after my discussion from another point of view, and again DMs, what I posted was deeply disgusting and intrusive, and I don't think I can ever apologize enough for what I did. I do urge everyone who screenshotted it to take it down. You may leave my @ and my profile. I will not change my tag.
I do find this part kind of weird. Maybe someone in the comments can explain it to me, why taking down the post removes what they did, but why that keep the @ and stuff like that. People have absolutely no context of why they're being added. I don't really get it.
I will take full responsibility of that, but I do urge everyone to take that message down. It is still very invasive and personal, and I would not like it to be shared anymore. And again, to end this off, Adora, I'm still really, I will probably forever be sorry. Actually, I should not have said those things, and I'm so bad at apologizing, but
I'm gonna point out here, we're gonna get into, because Adora does reply to this, and her main point is like a lot of people miss the whole point of her thread and go straight to, this is about boobs and stuff like that. And we make that joke in the previous video that everyone seems to be really focused on the big boobs, which that wasn't the problem at all. That had nothing to do with it, but for some reason everyone was really focused on it, and she did the same thing. And again, in her apology even, she doesn't really apologize for the actual problem. She doesn't really get it, that the point is it has nothing to do with the boobs. It should have nothing to do with the boobs. All the replies, well, not Adora, Adora's friend replied. Sorry, I got them too confused. The two girls this is about.
I'm gonna keep this in because I want everybody to see that I'm really bad at apologizing. I don't really know what to say. I will definitely take a few days break from making content. I will still be active.
Okay, I don't get the whole bad at apology. You say you're sorry, you explain the things you did wrong, and what you're apologizing for, and ideally it should be directly to them. They probably shouldn't have made a video, should have just done it directly to the person. Just DM them, guys. If you feel like you've offended someone, and you feel bad about it, just DM them directly. Don't make a public spectacle about it.
Still want to talk to people. I still want to discuss this topic with them, and about what I did, and my whole entire thought process, because I really had none. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side.
And I would like to reiterate there, because we're going to go into the comments and they're going to say this, don't bully anyone. I'm talking about this because, one, it's hilarious. As in, it's hilarious that this take was so bad. But I do think they're a very young person and have a lot of growing to do. From what I can tell, they need to gain some maturity. It's good, if you don't like them, just avoid them. That's what I always say in these videos. Don't go harass people. It's fine to give someone the middle finger if you think they're an asshole, though. But, like, engaging with people that might just be rage baiting just gives them exactly what they want. But let's scroll, my brothers. This is the part where they get told that they didn't tag the person. How the hell will they possibly see it, etc. And they should tag them in here. And to the fact that this person here, Sheba, posts all their first posts about doubling down and whatnot. Which is about to drop this video again for people still getting mad at me for speaking my truth, babes. You're not going to change my mind. Damn, rage bait work, guys. JK, it wasn't meant as rage bait. Some incel simps just found it. I think, honestly, one of the reasons she wanted the screenshot deleted is because of some of these, or because this is probably the worst look, is when you insult the people that disagree with you and just call them incels and simps, just because they're just like, bro, your take isn't great. Because honestly, I didn't see anyone particularly bullying her. They were just saying, what the hell is this opinion? It's like, whoa, this is a bad take, man. Which is my opinion. That's the situation as well. That was a terrible take. Because it just felt like a bit of a virtual signal with nothing of substance behind it. Because there's one thing actually complaining about things that are important, but saying her boobs aren't the same as her fictional boobs is like dumb. That is the dumbest gripe. I've grown up on the internet and never would have thought people would have tried to cancel me over boobs. Y'all are actually insane. That's the thing. It's not about boobs. It's about the fact that she brag up the person's real body to try and shame them for having a certain kind of model, when next to it shouldn't even matter what someone really looks like when it comes to this stuff. And this is from Radioactive, which we saw from the first video, which I accidentally for a second got confused with Donna. My bad. The entire situation has been an entire swath of people acting in incredibly bad faith, neglecting to read. This was pointed out in our first video that a lot of people for some reason was heavily focusing on her giant boober as the problem, which realistically wasn't exactly center of the issue at all. And they kept making it about a bunny, even though Radio was the one who got the warning, and Adorna wasn't in most of the clips. Acting on an image basis rather than understand that we do not make lewd content. Something I also pointed out, that they are very tame in comparison to most VTubers. I appreciate your candor and humility, but the damage has already been done. That is the problem here, is kind of thing. It's kind of gone around. It's already out there. It's good she apologized, but this has gone around everywhere. And her, like, doubling down on the hate wagon that they were getting because it was, like, rotating out of the VTuber space. It's not really helpful. Like, VTuber on VTuber crimes are never okay. But I wanted to talk about this mainly because it's a terrible take, honestly. The idea of you should shame someone because they don't look physically like their model is weird to me. And also trying to virtue signal on the fact that, but I look like my model and you should look like your model, is kind of insane. It's such an odd take. But that brings us to the end of this saga, my guys. What did you think of this story? Do you think this is a horrendous take? Have you heard a similar take before? Because I, unfortunately, have. And let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps me in the algorithm and all that great stuff. And if you want to see the next video ahead of schedule, you can become a member. Or you can join the Patreon, where you also get extra content from every single channel I run. Isn't that fun? The anime channel, the React channel. Yay! I'll catch you next time. My delinquent.